change. So it's not an exaggeration to say that the Earth is suffering and society is changing. And to produce just one laptop, we need to use finite resources equivalent to 1, 2, 3, 4 adult elephants. So if we start to count in all clothing and all Volvo cars and all other cars in the world, it's a strain that is simply, I don't think the Earth can take it in the long run. So I think we have to, when we're talking about, as we will read over there, less but better, and we have to start thinking of, can we just go on as what we have been doing? And I just found this elephant. I thought it was quite nice. Try to count the legs on it. So the consumption, which we have to, I will start off a little negative, but then I will talk about the solutions, of course. It is surely destroying us a little psychologically, a little spiritually, maybe even morally, but more literally in the world we live in. And because what we do is we buy new and we throw away the old without thinking. And so we have to start asking ourselves some questions. What do we really need and who are we exploiting to buy cheap? And I know maybe you have seen this fulfillment curve. So the fulfillment, or you could call it happiness, and here is money spent. We are happy until a certain degree, we call it enough. But then we could continue and buy and buy and buy, but we end in excess and we're not really getting any more happy. And so we are lost in translation when it comes to design, because there are so many confusing and disappointing and fragmented things around us. When we actually are longing for design to be relevant to human condition, design that tells a story, and design that creates personal and cultural identity. So we need a formula, and that's what I've been trying to do with the thinking in my book, to make design matter more. And the problem is how we can do this when design sometimes have lost itself in translation, and we don't really understand the product we see around us. This is just one example. You have seen it, the Dyson vacuum cleaner. But sometimes I wonder, do we need this Esperanto of design? Because it's really difficult to understand. It's very much on the German side of the room of technology, and you wouldn't understand how it works if you haven't seen it before. And from a business perspective, the competition intensifies all the time. But what's important is we should dare to change the rules and play a better game. And the good news is that this power is in our hands, that we all can make a change. So I give a little thumbs up for that. But it's also about the level of dedication, because we could get involved in trying to make better design, which will solve people's problem and in the end will make the world a better place to live. But we could also be really dedicated, that it's a really lifelong struggle to make this really good. So to exemplify that, I have this question. In a bacon and egg breakfast, you know what the difference is between it's a double difference, between the chicken and the pig? For the chicken, it's involvement. For the pig, it's totally commitment. So that's the difference. So we have to be dedicated.